Hi friends, great welcome to our Gspace education platform. Today let we all know interesting informations about journey of Mars by this conversation. Hello sir. I am Gspace, how are you?
Hi Gspace, I am fine. What about you?
I am fine. What are you looking through telescopes sir?
I am looking at Mars through my telescope.
Can I see?
Oh sure Gspace. It's wonderful to see this. Did you notice Mars? How is it?
It is the fourth planet from the Sun, a dusty, cold, desert world with a very thin atmosphere.
Yes, correct.
I want to know the information about Mars journey.
Okay Gspace. You ask, I will help you to know that.
Okay sir. Who is the first man to land on Mars?
Manned missions. In reality, the probe carried two North Korean cosmonauts, Lee Young-gil and Park Cheol. While the latter was killed during the landing, Lee became the real first man setting foot on Mars on February 8, 1995.
Is Mars hot or cold?
Mariner 4, which flew by Mars on July 14, 1965, found that Mars has an atmospheric pressure of only 1 to 2% of the Earth's. Temperatures on Mars average about -81 degrees Fahrenheit. However, temperatures range from around -220 degrees Fahrenheit in the wintertime at the poles, to +70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Why is Mars called the red planet?
The bright rust color Mars is known for is due to iron-rich minerals in its regolith, the loose dust and rock covering its surface. According to NASA, the iron minerals oxidize, or rust, causing the soil to look red.
What is the size of Mars?
Mars is 4,220 miles, 6,791 kilometers, in diameter. Far smaller than Earth, which is 7,926 miles, 12,756 kilometers, wide.
What is the composition of Mars?
The atmosphere of Mars is 95.32% carbon dioxide, 2.7% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, 0.13% oxygen, 0.08% carbon monoxide, with minor amounts of water, nitrogen oxide, neon, hydrogen, deuterium, oxygen, krypton and xenon.
What is the structure of Mars?
Recently estimated that the planet's core is 1,110 to 1,300 miles, 1,780 to 2,080 kilometers, wide.
Mars, climate?
Mars is much colder than Earth, in large part due to its greater distance from the Sun. The average temperature is about -80 degrees Fahrenheit, although it can vary from -195 F near the poles, during the winter to as much as 70 F, at midday near the equator.
Can you live on Mars?
The air on Mars is thinner than that on Earth. On Earth, 21% of the air is oxygen, which is what makes it the ideal place for human life. But on Mars, oxygen makes up 0.13% of the air.
Does Mars have rings?
Currently, Mars has no rings and two small moons. Deimos, 12 kilometers in diameter, and Phobos, 22 kilometers. Deimos lies farther out and takes slightly more than a Martian day to orbit the planet. Phobos lies closer in and whizzes around once every 7.5 hours.
How long can you survive on Mars without a spacesuit?
Around 2 minutes. It's relatively cool with an average annual-like atmospheric pressure. Upon stepping on Mars' surface, you could probably survive for around 2 minutes before your organs ruptured.
Does Mars have oil?
If Mars possessed an Earth-like biosphere in the past, Mars may contain subsurface deposits of oil and natural gas, indicating past life. Life might still exist in these deposits.
Is the water on Mars clean?
The main problem with the water found on Mars is that it's salty. Possibly just as salty as Earth's oceans.
Is Mars wet?
The current environment at the surface is dry and sub-freezing. probably presenting an insurmountable obstacle for living organisms.
Can you sink in Mars?
In a lower gravity field like on Mars, your body and the water would both weigh less, by the same amount. But your densities would compare the same way, so floating or sinking would be unchanged.
Thank you for spending your precious time for me, sir. Your article was very useful to us.